Hello friends, hope you are all fine and doing very well. So today we are gonna learn each and everything about CSS animations. And what is actually CSS animation? CSS animations lets an element gradually change from one style to another. You can change as many styles, CSS properties as many times as you want. So to use CSS animation, you must first specify some keyframes for the animations. Keyframes hold that styles the element will have at certain times. So actually what I want to say that each keyframe describes how the animated element should render at a given time during the animation sequence. Now this is a very basic animations that you can see. The heart is a heartbeat animation, you can see, and you can also see the background color is changing at some points. So actually I defined keyframes here. So each keyframe describes how the animated element should render at a given time during the animated sequence. Now how we do this, and believe me my friends, my dear friends, this video is explaining in a way that will clear your misconceptions about CSS, that CSS is weird. Actually CSS is not weird, it's not difficult that you are thinking. The question, why do we use CSS animations? Yeah, it's a good question. So if you want elements gradually change from one style to another, you can create CSS animations. So the human brain is hardwired to pay attention to moving objects. Adding animation to your website or app is a powerful way to draw users' attention to important areas of your product and add interest to your website interface or app interface when we make it looking good. But here I'm making very big animations, and I know it is not like real world animation, but it's just a example, so you can actually think beyond of it. So I have bunch of animations like fading text like this, okay, and the border, step by step the border is coming, like first this line, this line, this line, this line, and then the color is appeared, then the lines move and whatever. Then this is the animation. Yeah, it's looking good. And one more thing, it's a blinking text. I don't know why it is here. Okay, so this is our animation. Now it's looking good. You can use it as on page or on load function of JavaScript, that if you want to make a loader animation of your page, then you can use it. So there are a lot of other animations. I just created them from very scratch, so we will also gonna cover each and every animation in this tutorial. So animation can add valuable interaction and feedback, as well as enhance the emotional experience and bring delight and add personality to your interface. In fact, to animate means to bring to life. With CSS animation, you can apply animation on text like fading effect or rotation or bounce or shaking effect or something like this, and stuff like that. So today's video will be very informative and awesome. Okay friends, just close it, and here is our desktop, and there is nothing except a PNG form of image. That means it is the background is transparent here, and the heart image here is my heart image. Okay, you can rename it as heart, and I'm going to create a folder here. You can say it as animations, okay, animations like this, and I just drag and drop it here, and if I open it, you can see this animation is here. Oh sorry, not an animation, it's a PNG file, it's a image file. Okay, now the initial steps that we always did in our videos and we are doing in this video also, that is we are going to create two files. The first one is index.html and the second one is style.css. yeah, both are very important to use to make CSS animation. First we are gonna create some markup here, and let me create it here like, and name it as animations in CSS3. okay, now I'm going to link my CSS file like so, and if I click on it, yeah, it's actually my path is correct here. And first of all, I am going to create a image tag here, and I'm going to import that hard.png image. Now I'm going to copy its path and I'm gonna paste it in the browser. So it's very simple. I just minimize it. Yes. Now how can I do this? It's very simple. Just open the Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using like so, and just paste the link there, and you find a very big heart. Oh yes. Okay, we are going to style it here. Yes. So first of all, I'm going to create some basic styling like margin set to 0, padding set to 0, and box sizing set to border box. Now if you are a very beginner and you don't know about static selector, actually it selects each and every element and sets these properties to those elements. So it will select each and every element like HTML head, title, and body, image, and whatever the coming inside like divs, paragraphs. It will select each and every element and set the margin to 0, padding to 0, and box sizing to border box. So if you change the padding, so the width and height will not affect if you use this property. So it is very useful property in order to make your websites look great and responsive. Okay, I don't want to paste it here. I just want to close the site navigation from here, and if I show you, everything is gone. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to change my image properties. Like if I change its width to 50%, it will take 50% of the web browser like so. I should use 30% maybe. Yeah, I'm just taking random values. Okay, and what can I do next? Okay, I'm going to style my body here and d to flex, so display flex, and justify content to center, so it will center itself horizontally. Yeah, that's good. And what else can I do? Actually it's Flexbox. If you don't know about Flexbox, you can watch a video of Flexbox I have created in my CSS tutorial playlist, so you can actually watch that video in order to learn Flexbox. So I'm just using to align it horizontally and vertically, so it's very simple. Yeah, like so. And I want to make it like it will make an effect here, bouncing effect. How can I do this? So it's very simple. CSS animations are actually made up of two basic building blocks. The first one is keyframes, okay, and the second one is animation itself. Animation is a property. So this is a property, and this is a keyword of CSS to create frames of your animation. That's it. Now animation property is actually used for assign the keyframes to a specific CSS element and define how it is animated. So we will actually look at it later, but for now we are going to create some keyframes. So to create a keyframes, you have to use the @ symbol, and use the keyframes and press enter. So this is our keyframe syntax. You have to use in order to do making your animation. You have to write these keyframes, then you have to write here animation name. So it will you have to use the identifier. Identifier means to set some name here like a variable, and you can use it wherever you want. So I can name it as heartbeat. Okay, whatever you want to name it as, but actually you should name something meaningful. So that's it. To declare this animation, you have to write some rules, like what's gonna happen on a particular time or person. So we actually don't have timeline here, we have percentages here. Like if I want to set 0%, okay, oh sorry 0%, like so. And if we set the background color is aqua, and if you want to set it on 50%, I want to set the background color red, like so. And if you put 100%, and I set its background color to, let's suppose, blue, like so. So this is my the last frame or the ending frame is 100%. So you can in between those 0% to 100%, you can create as many frames as you want, but I'm just creating 3 frames. It's a very basic example of CSS animation. And if I set it here by just putting animation name and set the animation name like that is heartbeat, yeah, and if I refresh, nothing will change, yeah. So another thing that you have to do is you have to set the animation duration. So this is animation duration. If you press OK, I don't use this prefix here because I don't have to use it for now. If I want to set it, if I want to make my website more compatible for other browsers, then I have to use this, but for now it's for sake of simplicity, I am not using it here. Okay, I can set 2 seconds, and if I refresh, like so, it will just happen in 2 seconds. 3 frames are changing itself. If I set it to like suppose 10 seconds, and if I refresh, now you can see very fading effect here, like so, and it is actually gonna change and just move. It's over. Okay, so this is a way of creating CSS animation, and now it's a very bad example of animation, and we are gonna create the heartbeat animation, not this one. So how can we do this? It's very simple. You have to learn the transform properties. If you don't know about transform, CSS transform property, you can watch a video of CSS transform property on my CSS series. Okay, now I'm gonna give a what I can want to say. Sorry, I want to give if there is actually 2 keywords here that are from and to. So the from is the meaning of from is actually 0% is equal to 0%, and 2 is equal to 100%. Okay, but we actually prefer to use percentages instead of using from and to keyword. Okay, so let's just remove it from here. Now if I put 0% here, and if I use the transform property and put a scale here, and I want to set it to 1, that is by default, and if I put 50% or let's suppose 100% here, and set it transform scale to 1.2 or 3, actually 2 is good. If I refresh, nothing will change because I have to use this heartbeat property, or not heartbeat property, is actually the identifier. I have to use this identifier in the animation name property. So I'm gonna give the animation. Okay, this is one more thing. You can use the animation name property, and then you have to use the animation duration property, but there is a shorthand property that you can use, and I actually prefer to use that property because it will make your code much faster. So it's something that looks like this. I can name it as heartbeat, then I'm going to give a duration, and I'm gonna, let me suppose 2 seconds, and just delete all of these actual. So it is very easy. Now it's looking good, it's in one line, and it's a shorthand property. Now if I refresh, yeah, you can see a very a little effect here. It's just keep increasing itself and just jump back. So one more thing that I can do is I have to create 3 frames here to move it smoothly, and just put it here and just set it to 1 again. So now it will react like something like this. It's looking good, it's not jumping back. Okay, so actually it is just doing the same as we done in 0%. So it is actually, if you just put the properties that you just put in the 0 percentage, so it will make the effect more smooth. So we can say it's a hack, but it's actually not a hack. It's actually you are setting the 100%, that is the last frame, to again the 0 frame, equal to the 0% frame. So that's it. Now one more thing, if you want to keep it bouncing, you can actually specify how many times you want to make it bounce. So I can or make it a heartbeat. So I can say I want to make it infinite. It will continuously move without stopping. Now if I refresh, now you can see it's actually moving, but it is very slow because of 2 seconds here. If I set to 1 second and if I refresh, now it's looking like a heartbeat effect. Yeah, so the very first example that we covered is heartbeat effect. Okay, now what else can we do? Okay, now I'm just gonna delete it from here, and I'm also gonna delete it from here also. Actually I don't want to make a lot of rush here, so I'm going to just delete it from here. Okay, I don't want to delete the body section, so I'm just going to select this body section, delete it from here. Okay, I want to put it here, and actually I want to just put the image animations. If I refresh, everything is gone. Now here I'm gonna create a div element with a class of circle, like let's suppose this. If I if I put it here and set a background color to, let's suppose, brown, and I don't want to set its background color, I just want to set a background to a linear gradient, linear, linear gradient, red and yellow. If I refresh, nothing is changed. I have to give the width a height, not like this. I just have to give, okay, sorry. Yeah, now I have to give the width property, let's suppose 200 pixel, and height also, let's suppose 200 pixel. If I refresh, it something appears here, and if I change it to border radius, no, like this, border radius to 50%, so it will become a circle, like so. Now if I want to make a rotation effect on it, how can I do this? It's very simple. First you have to create keyframes. So I'm going to create keyframes here, and inside and I name it as rotate. So this is my animation name. Now I'm going to use, actually I'm coding live here, I'm not watching and I'm not reading the code from any other resource, so that's why my code maybe have some bugs, and I will fix it by just looking on the results. So on 0%, I want to transform it, I want to rotate it to 0 degree, and on 100% I want to transform it and rotate it to 360 degree. And if I just use it, animation, and if I use the RO rotate, then animation duration, and if I refresh, yeah, it's actually move. You can see if I refresh, it's actually moving, it's rotating. That's great. That is the thing that I want. Now one more thing that I can do is I can put it infinite here, and if I refresh, it will keep moving. But there is, okay, if not moving, wait a minute, yeah, it's actually moving. As you can see, it is rotating, and actually it is rotating, but it is have a stopping point. It is stopping on certain time. It is stopping for a certain time, and don't want to make this thing. I just want to rotate it continuously without stopping. So for this we use a timing function. I don't know what is the name. So if I show you here, animation, yeah, animation duration, delay, iteration count, direction, yeah, animation timing function. So we use the animation timing function. So I'm not very good on naming terminologies, so we are going to use animation timing function, and I'm gonna set it to linear like this. And the meaning of linear is the animation has the same speed from start to end. So if I refresh and if I show you, now you can see it is not stopping, it's have the same speed from its start to its end. So it is behaving in a linear way. So this is very cool. It's looking very nice effect here. Yeah, so actually you can do much more with it, but it's for now, but you can actually do many things for it. Okay, so now what can I do? Okay, now actually I'm thinking in my mind what can I create for you next. Okay, I'm gonna create another thing, like I'm just removing it from here, and I'm going to use simple, I'm just naming that simple rotate, or you can say simple line, like so. And one more div, yes, and one more div with the name of rotate. Okay, now if I just use the simple line here and just delete it from this line from here, and just put the let's suppose 100 pixel and with a 5 pixel of height, and if I refresh, actually it's gone. Okay, 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 I have to change the Sorry for this. I have changed the class name and I haven't changed the class name. If I refresh, it something looks like this. It's a nice effect. Yeah. Now it's moving, and why it is moving? It's moving because of this animation that we just created here. Now I actually want to use this rotate here also. So how can I do this? I'm just going to copy it from here, and if I just use it here, if I refresh, it something looks like this. Yeah, it's pretty good, but I want to make a plus sign here. So how can I do this? First of all, I'm going to just remove it from here. If I just put it here, it's something looks like this. Actually, it's one line and it's second line that is joining each one of each other. So I'm just gonna delete it from here and put it here side like this, and then I'm going to select all these properties and put it here like so. If I refresh, nothing is changed, but I will change it with a transform property to rotate to 90 degree, so it will just look like a standing stick like so. Okay, and I want to put this line on its top, on its center. How can I do this? Yeah, here is a trick that we can use. I think so we can use the we can use sorry, we can use, let's suppose, what can we use? We can use positions here, as simple as it is. Okay, for now I'm going to just delete all this or comment it out from these properties, and if I refresh, it is here. Yeah, now it's good to go. I'm just going to set a position to relative here. If I refresh, everything is here. Okay, now I'm going to, okay, now what can I do? Yes, I'm actually going to dot simple line and dot rotate. I'm going to select those two divs and setting their position to absolute like so. I don't have to use this, don't have to do this, but I'm just doing I don't know why. Okay, now I'm going to set the top of it to 50%. If I refresh, it is not working. Yeah, why it is not working? It should work. $50 pixel is working or not? Actually, it is not working. Dot simple line, dot rotate, set position to absolute, and it is not working. Okay, let me check it. If I set its background color to brown, and if I refresh, is it changed? The background color is not changing. If I refresh, it is not working on the in here. Okay, if you just comment it out, if I just refresh, it is actually not working. The background color is not applying there. Or if I just put the background and if I refresh, yeah, now it is applied. So it's actually something very happened to me much times. So how can I fix this? So we can fix this in just seconds. So for this, I'm just going to remove it from here, and I'm going to look at my markup. Now I'm going to wrap it in a div like so, to make it more something with a class of all lines like C. Okay, and I'm going to put it here like this, and I'm going to refresh it again, nothing is changed. I want to select all lines, then I want to select the divs of all lines. So it will actually select this one and this one, and now I'm going to set its position to absolute, and I'm just going to use this here, put it here, all lines, and I just want to put this property relative here, and if I refresh, nothing is changed, but I will make it change. And then okay, if I put top to 50% and if I refresh, yeah, it is again not working, and I'm wondering why it is not working. Maybe I have to give a height on my position. That was the 50. Okay, 100 VH. If I refresh, oops, that's a very big mistake that I am doing. Sorry for wasting your time, but it's a very simple thing that I have to put the height here. That's why it is not working. Now the next thing I can say is I want to set the left to, let's suppose, 30% or 50%, not 50%, 40%, 45%. Yeah, it's in center, and I want to rotate it. So how can I do this? It's very simple. You can just do it in just seconds. So for this thing you have to, let me think, what can you do? It's very simple. You can just have to put the animation rotate here. If I refresh, it something looks like this, and you also want to rotate it. So it's very simple. Again, you have to use the same property that you used here, you have to use it here also, and if you refresh, it is actually one line top of each other. Just remove 2 seconds to 1 second, and if you refresh, yeah, it's actually moving, and it's actually looking like a loader. Okay, it took time, it took so much time for creating this just simple animation, but you can see it's actually looking like a real world application, that if you want to make a loader here or your page loader, you can use it, or you can create your custom loaders. It's totally up to you, and actually I love it. I love to use these kind of things. Okay, you created it from scratch. Now I can say there are a lot of other things that you can do. Let's create here's one more thing. If I put 1 here actually, or 1 second here, if I refresh, now it will start moving after 1 second. So if I put here 3 seconds, so it's actually a delay property. So first of all, it's our animation, it's our duration, it's our delay, it's our iteration, it's our timing function. Maybe you're right. Yeah, so if I refresh, it will move after 3 seconds, and here it is moving. So that is the thing. If you want to move your element after some time, so you can use animation delay here, or you can set it from like so, animation delay, and then you can set it here 2 seconds, and if you refresh, now it will move after 2 seconds like so. So you can set it here, or you can set it there. And one more thing, if you don't remember where to put the order of these things, you can just put the animation and here is the very first option. Just click on it and it is showing you all the suggestions that you can do. First of all, you have to give the animation name, that is, I think so, rotate. One more thing, that here is my class is rotate and my animation name is also rotate, so it actually won't make any bug here. Now here is duration, you can set it to 2 seconds. Timing function, you can set it to linear. Then delay, you can set it 2 seconds. Then iteration count, you can set it to 2, 3, 4, whatever you want, but I use it infinite here. There's direction in fill mode, and it is actually, we do not prefer to use these two properties. And if I refresh, it will move after 2 seconds, and it is moving on same of it. So if I put 1 here and if I refresh, now it is moving like so. So this is very good effect that we just created, and I hope you enjoyed it here. And the last thing that you can do, actually I really don't use my custom animations very much. I just use the CSS framework. Maybe that is animate.css, and we will work on animate.css if when we create what I want to say, when we will create a website. So we will use that thing, that library. Now the last thing that can we do is bouncing ball. Okay, so I'm just putting it in a class like so. I'm just going to copy it from here, just remove all the stuff from here till here like so, just put it here, and just going to remove the style from here, and then just put a width here to, let's suppose, 100 pixel, and I'm actually going to remove this property from here. If I just refresh, nothing's changed. Then a height of 100 pixel, then a border radius of 50%, then a background color of sorry for bad voice, of cadet blue. And if I refresh, it something looks like a circle, but it is not bouncing, and I want to make it bounce. I want to drop it from here, it will bounce, it will hit this surface, it effect like a bouncing, and it just jump back to here. How can I do this? It's very simple. We have to create CSS keyframes animations. To add keyframes, then you have to put the animation name, like, and I can say bounce here. Okay, now I can put a 0%, and if you have 0% and 100% same, you can just put a comma here and put 100% like so, and a 50%. Now I am going to put I think so we have to put a position here or not. It's actually, we should think here. So actually we could use a position here. If I set a position relative here, and if I refresh, nothing is changed. If I put position to absolute and refresh, nothing is changed. If I put top to 40 pixel, refresh, yeah, it will work. So I'm just going to use this thing. I'm just using it here. Just top is 0%, or actually you should use pixel, so it's absolute values. Then I'm going to use the top of 200 pixel, and if I just put it here, where it will be, it is here. Actually, if I increase it to 600, if I refresh, okay, if I put 50% here, if I refresh, it is here. If I put 55%, if I refresh, it's here. If I put 65%, if I put, it's here. So I think it's a good place to bounce. So I just want 60% on my 50, like so. And if I animation, not animation, delay, animation, why it is not giving me suggestion? Yeah, and put the bounce here with 2 seconds, and if I refresh, well, it's looking like very nice effect here. Yes, is it? Okay, but it is not looking like a bouncing effect. If I refresh, you can see the ball is just as same, its dimensions are same. So it's not good. You have to change its dimensions also. If I increase its width to 150 pixel, and if I refresh, it something looks like this. If I put to 110 pixel, and if I refresh, something looks like this. If I put 130 pixel, if I refresh, it something looks like this. If I put 125 pixel, if I refresh, actually it's good. And I'm just gonna put it here, and if I refresh, you can see the very good bouncing effect here. Just put 1 second or 500 milliseconds. If I put here, okay, it's very fast. You can put 800 here. If I refresh, yeah, it's good. It's very good to go. And I should here 115. Yes, it's good. Okay, linear, even out. Okay, no, linear and infinite. If I refresh, now you can see it's our ball is bouncing up and down, and I know it's very fast, so we can put it something like this. Yeah, it's actually looking like a ball is bouncing on its own, so it's very nice. So this is today's topic is on animation, CSS animation, and we learned each and everything about. The last thing that you should know about is timing function. If you want some more detail, there are a lot of other things like is in out, is in, is in out, is out, is in out. So these are, and I think so this is the by default it is. So we are going to learn this one, and I know it's the last one. So the ease property is default property, and the animation has a slow start and then fast before it ends slowly. And ease in, actually animation has a start slow. Ease out, animation has a slow end. Ease in out, the animation has both slow start and slow end. And if I just put here, and if I refresh, so it actually looking like a very bouncing effect. So actually the animation has slow start and slow end. If I put is in only, so it is the animation has slow start, like so. The start is slow, but it is when the animation is going up, or it's on its last stage or last frame or ending stage, it starts increasing in speed. Now is out is actually, if I refresh, now is out is actually the animation has slow end. So you can see it is going slowly up there and it's bouncing down fast. And ease is the default property, and if I refresh, the animation has start slow, then fast, and then before it ends slowly. It's something looks like this, and you can change it whatever you want in that order. And I think so there's another thing that you can do. Okay, I can inspect it from here, and I can just target it. How can I target? I want to target. Okay, if it is not working from here, I can actually select that particular bouncing ball. Now this is my bouncing ball, and this is the icon. Open cubic-bezier editor. So here is our timing function. If you press it here, you can see a simple editor. You can edit whatever in way you want, so it will affect like that. You can actually change it from here. You can actually decrease it like so. So it's totally up to you how you are using it. So it is used for advanced Css animation, this editor. And if you just increase it like so, it actually looks like this. It's just moving forward, down. It's very pressure, in a very pressure. It's just moving like so. So you can actually create your own timing function from here. So just copy that thing and copy it from here, and then just going to paste it here. So it's like so, and if I just refresh it, now this is my CSS animation. And today we completed each and everything about CSS animation. We can learned about timing functions, that is ease, linear, ease in, out, ease out, initial, and we learned about CSS iteration count, that is infinite, or any number that you want to put, like 1, 2. It will actually repeat itself 1 or 2 or 3 or times, or whatever you want to make. And actually we learned about CSS animation shorthand property, that is very good to learn. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.